Hello, I'm Jashikins, and welcome to another episode of Jash Reads. Tonight, we are going to be continuing to read Megamorphs #1, The Andalite's Gift by Kay Applegate. Now, before we start, you know the whole I'm going to convert Jash Reads into podcasts? Finally uploaded one video to SoundCloud, so this whole thing is actually happening, and it is chaotic. It's just a little chaotic behind the scenes. And I feel really bad because the first couple Josh Reads episodes, I didn't have a good mic. Like, if you are a long-time viewer, you remember the horror, the absolute dread of that first mic. So yeah, it's embarrassing. It's like those if people are just starting to watch it on SoundCloud, they're like, "Oh my gosh, she doesn't have a good microphone." It's like, no, it's better. I was an idiot. I had an idea, it didn't work. But anyway, let's continue. And this chapter, it's back to Rachel. It was still in that gosh darn shack. Why am I happy about this? Urgh! I cried. I was in a shower of flames as bits of wood and fabric fell around me. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't see. But I could hear an insane grinding noise from deep within my own body. And I knew that I was changing. In all my despair, I could feel the power flowing through me. Awesome power. But was it enough? I waited as long as I could. I wasn't done changing, but the heat was too great. The thing that I was becoming hated the fire. A sudden surge of muscles, a forward rush. I slammed into the half-rotted logs. The logs broke from the force of my huge body. The logs that had imprisoned me were mere sticks now. I hurtled through them and away from the burning shack. At that moment, the shack collapsed on itself in an explosion of sparks. I stood panting. I stood on 4 legs. I looked down and saw front paws where hands should have been. My paws were covered in coarse brown fur, very shaggy. I had long, sharp black claws. Flash! A bear on its hind legs, roaring and swinging its mighty paws. Creatures all round, like walking razor blades. They came for the bear, came for me. Yes, I thought, Grizzly Bear. That was it. I had become a bear, was still becoming a bear, because the morphine was not yet completely done. What am I? I shouted, but the sound that came from my mouth was not human. What kind of creature was I? How could I do this? How could I become a different animal? It was insane! Insane! Maybe it was that simple. Maybe I was as insane as the woman who had burned down her shack to kill me for being a yerk. Was that it? Was I a yerk? what was a yerk? Suddenly, I heard a wild rush of wind, not from the burning, crumbling cabin, from above, up in the air. I looked up, but my human eyes were changing to bear eyes, and I couldn't see very well. I only saw a large shadow hovering above me. A flash of swift movement. It was attacking. The last of my human body was gone, and now I felt the full force of the grizzly bear's own mind. It was unafraid. And more than that, it was angry. No one attacked a grizzly bear, not if they wanted to live. I reared up on my hind legs. I must have been 10 feet tall, and I knew I was mighty. I roared. I swung my massive paw at the hovering beast. But then a second flash of movement. Another animal, racing swiftly toward us. Rachel! Rachel, is that you? A voice demanded. A voice I did not truly hear, except inside my head. I looked at the new creature. It had come to a stop, just a dozen feet away. I peered at it with my dim, bare vision. It had 4 legs, like a horse or a deer, but it seemed to have a head and upper body that was almost human. And there was a tail. I was sure of that. The tail was cocked back like a weapon ready to be fired. For a frozen moment of time, we all 3 waited. Me, the beast in the air, and this new apparition. Rachel! Rachel! Is that you in morph? It's me, Axe. Rachel? I asked silently. Is that my name? And then the beast made of dust attacked Axe. And that's the end of that chapter. And near the end of the chapter, when Rachel sees Axe, I believe she already had that flashback of Alfangor. And, all the Animorphs, especially Tobias, get sort of emotional when talking about Alfangor. So I think that Rachel subconsciously recognized Axe as an Andalite. And, was recognizing and remembering Alfangor being an Andalite. So she sort of got sad. That's why my voice did that at the end. So she's like, that looks familiar. That makes me sad, but I don't know why. Just like whenever I see that Indiana Jones movie that doesn't exist, nor that Animorphs TV show that also doesn't exist. I'm very good at denial when I want to be. Very good. Oh gosh. Yeah. So, what did you think about this chapter? So, do you want to see more of that crazy woman in the shack? And like, this is the first chapter since Rachel has amnesia that she has been told her name. So, yeah. So, comment down below. Let's get a conversation going about this chapter and any of the previous chapters in this book, or any previous books that I have already done a dramatic reading of. Like, yeah. So, if in the comments section, on the YouTubes, I really don't want any major spoilers because this series is full of really big twists and turns that you should experience without seeing them coming. You should just be utterly shocked at what's going on and unsure what's going to happen. So, if you have already read the series, do not comment below with major spoilers. But if you do want to talk major spoilers with me or any sort of spoilers of the series at all, if you're watching this on the YouTubes, link in the description. If you're watching on my blog, oh shit, sorry. I was like skipping ahead in this part. I'm like, oh, I'll do this. And like, oh yeah. Oh yeah. But anyways, if you're on the YouTubes and you want to talk spoilers with me, go in the description. There's a link to my Tumblr Ask Box and my Tumblr Ask Box. I'm sorry, just like that mistake is like, wow. In my Tumblr Ask Box, you can major spoilers, minor spoilers, fan theories, whatever. And if you're one of those newcomers that have run into this video and you're like, hey, this actually seems sort of awesome. Where can I get my very own copy of Megamorphs #1, The Andalite's Gift by K. Applegate? If you are on the YouTubes, link in the description. If you are on my blog, link down below. And both links will take you to where you can buy your very own copy of Megamorphs #1, The Andalite's Gift by K. Applegate. Now, if you buy with the links I've directed you to, not only are you supporting, the actual copyright holders, allowing, and like if enough Animorphs books are bought, maybe they'll say, hey, let's do a reboot. Like me and the other Phantomorphs, we can really hope. But it will also be helping to support, my blog and what I do. Not just this dramatic reading, but everything I do on my blog. And let's see the next part. Oh yeah. Like what part am I going to jump to next? But anyways, if you are watching on the YouTube, please, give this video a like if you think Rachel really deserves a hug. She has amnesia, and, in less than a day, she's been chased by a dust beast. The dust beast has now come after her twice, and she was captured by a crazy woman. And it's just like, she's not having a good day. Just like this video, if you think Rachel really, really, really deserves a nice hug. And if you're watching on the YouTubes, also remember, subscribe. I will be doing a dramatic reading of the entire Animorphs series. So if you don't want to miss out on any Animorphs content, subscribe. And if you're watching this on my blog and watching on the desktop version of my blog, please use the follow by email option so you will never again miss another blog post by me. Not only do I do these lovely dramatic readings, I also do long posts on various subjects. The latest long post is one of those where someone said, yes, Jash, that does sound awesome, but it will take forever and leave you a poor, broken man. I think you might have found something to top your Azora High prophecy post. So I swear that Azora High prophecy one made it so I was like iffy of doing anything about any prophecy in the Game of Thrones series. So if you want to know a good reason why I don't tend to post about prophecies, except every now and again, maybe, it's because, yeah, that post killed me. Oh gosh. But yeah, so content like that. So I don't do just Animorphs either. I also do a variety of fandoms. And the next episode of Jash Reads will be on Monday. I will be doing a review of the latest Game of Thrones episode, and then later that day I will be doing another part of my dramatic reading. And if you aren't a Game of Thrones fan, you will be dreading this Sunday. I mean, I'm dreading it. I am just thinking Jorah Mormont is going to die. He is my favorite character. But, I was looking at some clues. It's like, I talk about in my episode 2 review of season 8. I was like, all these things that seem great about Jorah Mormont gain attention. Wait a minute. But if some character that hasn't been getting a lot of attention suddenly starts getting a lot of attention, fuck, he's dead. It's like, oh, look he is such a shining ray of light now. He's redeemed himself. Oh, fuck. Oh, yeah. And then Sam's like, says something to the effect of me and a bunch of other people yelling at TV. What? Do you just want him to die, Sam? Are you just like begging him to die? But like, there's someone made a post like, there's like, what if some of our beloved characters get turned into whites? I'm like, then my mind goes to like, Jorah Dany is my OTP of the series, but I'm like, wouldn't it be cool if Jorah got turned into white and ended up killing Dany? Like, if you're wondering why I can't take happiness, it's because fucking Animorphs ruined me. And so anyways, yeah, the next Jash Reads episode will be on Monday. And now I guess this is sort of the after show, a time where you can cool down, just so that there's this little barrier between you and the real world. So you have a little place to go to before, you have to talk about the real world again. Okay, this live. Okay, yeah. Okay, it's live. Live, Jash. Stop it. And I'm going to check once more. I'm sorry. I sort of, I guess, OCD about this. And I'm not making some remark like, OCD is so cute. I'm serious. This is annoying me as much as it annoys you. I have not been diagnosed with OCD. However, I notice myself double, triple, thousand checking little things. And it got worse when I was with my dad. Like, there were definitely some hard times there. And it's definitely live there. And yeah, it was really painful and hard at times. But one of the problems is I have not been able to see a psychiatrist for the longest fucking time because of insurance and healthcare. But let's not rant about real world issues now. Anyways, this after show, I slowly work on a graphic here and there. And yeah, so I work on it slowly so that little bits and pieces here and there as with each episode, so I don't do a bunch of things at once. So this one, the whole thing is, it's the Animorphs gathered together, and I find the Game of Thrones quote, if you think this has a happy ending, you haven't been paying attention, really relates to Animorphs, hence going to have the Animorphs here and a quote. I tried to do this did not turn out as I expected it to, but it still works. So let's get that Game of Thrones quote. Ramsay, Ramstay. The great Game of Thrones character Ramsay. Although, in all honesty, there are so many characters on Game of Thrones that it took the longest time. I mean, I didn't realize that Jorah Mormont was Jorah Mormont's father. Now that's like second nature to me. Okay, let's look at the quote. It should be here because this is one of the quotes everyone fucking says. And now it's number 1! Oh, fuck this shit. No, I do not want to do that. Actually, I don't like this site now. I'm sorry, but when there's like these ads like that, I'm like, I just don't trust it. I mean, maybe I'm being paranoid, but I just don't like when shit like that happens because I'm just like, ah, shit. This is not worth getting a virus on my computer. Oh yeah, I can't fucking copy and paste from there, so that's done. Okay, let's see if this works. Only subscribers have access to premium articles. Okay, that does not work. 5 epic quotes of Ramsay Bolton that prove he was pure evil. This isn't happening to you for a reason. Well, one reason, I enjoy it. If you think this has a happy ending, you haven't been paying attention. I'm gonna keep that. So I don't have to stay on that website. Let's see if I actually search this, what will happen. Okay, I get, yeah, Ramsay torturing Theon was honestly, I couldn't really watch the whole thing. I mean, like, it takes a lot for me to leave the room, and because I can't stand the torture. It was very good, very well done. I'm not saying didn't mean the show for it, but yeah, I'm really complimenting it there. It really takes a lot. And the part that made me really, really start to hate Ramsay, and especially fear for, Theon, was when Ramsay pretended to help Theon escape and was actually just leading him back to be tortured again. And Ramsay got joy out of Theon thinking he was escaping. And and to me, that was really the worst one because it's scary, at least really scary for me to imagine me not being in full control of my senses and, not knowing what's real or not, and someone doing something like that with Ramsay doing that to Theon of making him doubt and like hammering it home, you're not going to escape. And when you think you're going to escape, it's actually just going to be a trap. So, you just better, allow yourself to break now. So, because there's going to be no point, there is no escape for you. And when Yara tried to rescue Theon was so broken that he refused to, be rescued, and prompting Yar to say afterwards that, Theon was dead or something like that, I believe. So yeah. And like, very kudos to the actor who played Ramsay. I can't remember his name at the moment, but that actor, like, just how much I fucking loathed Ramsay is how good of a fucking actor he was. Because like a lot of villains, it turns out, it's like, yeah, he was a really, the actor's a really nice guy. Okay, let's get back to this. And I don't want this quote to all be one line, so let's maybe break it up into two parts. Let's come here. I'm sorry I spent part of this like, oh, this is like bits and pieces. They'll be quick. And then I'm like, let's talk about Game of Thrones and how much fucking hate Ramsay. Okay. Okay, let's make it one line here. And this won't be the font or the color that we end up using. We just need to make sure that we can see that here. Like, let's it'll be nice and quick and woo, Game of Thrones. And I admit I am totally in a rut. I do like Sinzel there for some reason. Maybe, god darn it. It's just funny. It's like, I cannot cuss, gosh darn it. Let's do something creepy-ish. Fajala. 4K. No, I don't like that. Let's see. I do like this font type just because it seems, I don't know, like it's been handwritten. And I don't know, it being handwritten to me evokes more of a horror. Okay. See. Let's see. I'm probably going to be reversing colors here. So let's do a nice white here. I'm thinking white, like Game of Thrones. Actually, darn it. I hate this stuff. Okay, come on. If you think this has a happy ending, you haven't been paying attention. And that I think is, even if you have not read Game of Thrones, not read, but if you haven't watched Game of Thrones, I think that you still will recognize that line because it is quoted ad nauseum. Like, and Game of Thrones groups, like someone suggests happy ending, then they quote Ramsay, and it's like, ta-da! Da-da. But yeah, this is a quote besides, everyone thinking, oh, I think of Game of Thrones. And like, this is definitely an Animorphs quote. Because it's like, if you think this has a happy ending, you haven't been paying attention. Animorphs is very much an anti-war series. It shows you war, but it doesn't glorify it. It doesn't say, oh yeah, these are cool and this is cool and this is going to be just awesome. Like, it's like, no, it's not an awesome thing. It's not a good thing. It's not something you're happy about. This isn't look at all the battles the Animorphs have fought so far. They're usually running away, fleeing, barely surviving. And it just gets worse as the series goes on. And you really get to see the toll of war and what does I would like to say more, but this is honestly some pain that I am hinting at. If you haven't read it, you're like, okay, bad things are going to happen, but if you're just looking at this as just another average kids book series, like, you're like, okay, it's not it's going to be this bad, but it's like 10 times fucking worse. Like, but yeah, but it is good too. And it has some really happy moments like Axe and the cinnamon buns, but if you think this has a happy ending, you haven't been paying attention, and I will be having a link to it, this picture later. I'm going to be uploading it to DeviantArt. So yeah, look for that soonish. And once I have uploaded to DeviantArt, and the YouTube version of this video, I will be putting a link to it. So yeah. And again, next Jash Reads video will be on Monday, and I might be, seeing the end game sometime next week, maybe. But I really, I don't even want to imagine what it's like seeing Endgame and then seeing episode 3 of Game of Thrones, because it'll be like, oh, I'm glad I might be in a pile of tears Sunday night, but at least I won't be in tears because of Endgame and Game of Thrones episode 3. So again, next episode of Jash Reads will be on Monday. Bye!